This is Immortal from the Guardians of the Globe, and you're listening to the Invincible podcast with Bill, Ryan, Wyatt, and TJ.
Hello and welcome to the Invincible podcast, probably the best superhero podcast in the universe. This is a show where friends talk all things Invincible, a comic book and animated series created by Robert Kirkman, Corey Walker, and Ryan Ottley. I am one of your hosts, Ryan, and joining me today is TJ.
Oh, hello, it's TJ.
We've got Bill.
Hi, everybody.
And Wyatt.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, everybody.
It's a big episode, and I wore my Invincible hoodie.
Aren't you too warm in that thing? Because it's a hot bitch, isn't it? Or it's a thick bitch.
It is a thick bitch, and it may be coming off very soon.
Oh,
I just wanted to show it off.
It is a very big. It is a very big
does.
episode. We've got a lot of big Invincible news to talk about. It just worked out that it all kind of happened right before we planned on recording this episode. We've got the season 3 trailer. We've got a new Invincible comic book announced. Obviously, your emails and your thoughts to go over. We'll do an issue spotlight towards the end of the episode, as well as all the latest news and updates in the universe of Invincible. If it is a bit of a longer episode, don't worry. You've got all the time codes in the description, as well as the chapters on YouTube and everything like that. Which, speaking of YouTube, hopefully everybody got to watch our last episode. It was our big 150th anniversary celebration, our episode celebration, not 150th anniversary, but 150th episode celebration. Really special video that we did. And thank you all for all the shout outs and the love that we got in the comments and emails and everything like that. We really appreciate it. Hope everybody really enjoyed the episode as much as we enjoyed filming it. But yeah, we are back in our little boxes, and we're hopefully going to be doing more episodes like that. Of course, it's always a pleasure to have Wyatt in town to visit.
Yeah, that was super fun. And yeah, what you said about it just being like, it was exciting to all record in person in that awesome studio that we got to visit, and like dress it up and everything. But all of the like emails that we got, the different messages that we've even gotten since then about the podcast and everything is just very, very heartwarming. So thank you to everybody out there.
Yeah, and like that episode was just it went so well too. Like it was all one take. It was great. We had a good time. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out. We do talk a bit about the comics, especially in this episode where we might be talking a bit about what's coming up in season 3. And judging by the trailer, things are gonna follow the comics pretty closely, we think. So if you haven't read the comics yet and you're wary of spoilers, especially going into the show, be aware what we're gonna say might spoil the show because we read the comics. So be aware. Go read the comics. Come back and check it out. I want to kick it off with an email. We have one here from our friend Bo Pilgrim. What's up, guys? Long time, no talk, but I'm still listening to every episode.
Hey.
Since you guys may have the inside scoop, what's going on with the Mauler twin and Rexplode action figures? They should have been in my grubby hands by now. Also, where are the announcements for future releases? I want everyone. Keep up the great work, guys. Bo Pilgrim. So TJ, you and I were at New York Comic Con and got to chat with the team at Diamond that makes the action figures. And what did he say? He said something along the lines of them being stuck in
a warehouse somewhere and overseas, and they can't get them over for some reason. I don't know, but they're coming.
Issues. Yeah, and he said they should be here soon, within the next month or two. I think he said something along those lines. I'd be surprised if we got to, let me say, the release of season 3 without them being out, because I think they should be out sometime within the next month or two. So
the Invincible podcast, we ask the questions that you want to know. We just don't fully remember the answers.
Exactly.
I wonder, wasn't there like a shipping strike on like one of the coasts? Is it maybe because of that?
There's something. It had to do with freight, and he didn't even quite have the exact reason. He just said it's just stuck in freight and shipping and getting overseas. So it's coming. Hopefully it'll be soon. And I'm excited to get them as well. Very excited.
Come on, Explode! It's about time. Here we go.
Explode action figure. Come on. And then of course we asked the follow-up question of who's next? Like, is there more? And he said, "Oh no, there's more. I can't remember which, and this is him saying this, not me, which character they landed on, because I guess there was more than one that was going to be coming out, or which ones they had officially planned for the next wave. But it is coming. It is happening. So we'll see. Maybe they're waiting for a little bit more hype behind the impending season 3 to start releasing that information.
Maybe they're waiting for more hype for the impending season 3, in which Battle Beast is returning, and also some upcoming comic books that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. So, and that would make sense if it was a Battle Beast figure.
I hope we get a Powerplex action figure before we get a Rexplode.
Rexplode is
Just somehow
coming,
even though Rex is the next one and already out. Like, that's what Bo's asking about. The Mauler, and
Rex is stuck in shipping.
No, we're still gonna get a Powerplex action figure before.
Happens.
They're gonna just fast track it.
The figure's out.
Got shipped to the moon for some reason, and now there's moon rocks in the way. We don't know.
And then
I feel like I've never been more certain that it's got to be Battle Beast.
It has to be,
right? Like, but I feel like I've said that every time, and
you've
been wrong a couple of times now. So
there's just
maybe
more
I'm
reason
wrong.
to do it now.
Yeah. Battle Beast, Titan, Black Samson, Shapesmith. I'm trying to think of Shapesmith wasn't in season 1.
They need a villain.
If they really want to capitalize on the new season, give me Oliver. Give me that.
Well,
kid
yeah,
Oliver.
they haven't even finished season 1 yet, but yeah, season 3, yeah.
My prediction.
Angstrom. They haven't done season 2 yet.
That's what I was gonna say. My prediction is Battle Beast and Angstrom.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Then we have one that says, "Hey, the Invincible podcast. Longtime listener, first time mailer. I've been listening to the podcast since the animated series was first announced and just loved the vibes of you guys, so I stuck around. Anyways, Bill is my favorite, not because he's ever right, but the contrary. Also, I have this.
If there was ever a reason to like Bill the best, that's the perfect reason.
Also, I have this fan art I meant to send in after episode 7 of season 2 dropped. Love you guys. Keep up the great work. Can't wait for February 6th. This is from Aaron Casey. Thank you, Aaron Casey. And that is right in our show notes if you wanted to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really good. Holy shit.
It's really good.
Really good.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh,
the
wow.
lighting
Amber and Anissa
on the side of it. So good.
God, one of the craziest scenes in all of season 2.
Yeah.
Man.
I like it the most because he likes me the most.
There you go. Yep.
And am I wrong about liking it the most? Wow.
See, now he's not going to like you as much because you were right about something.
Right, I know.
Oh, thank you for those. We do have some more emails coming later in the episode, but for now, let's get over to the Invincible news. This is all kind of be in release order, just because that's how I organize the news. So we're not starting with the biggest news first. We'll get there. First up, Guarding the Globe, the mobile game, has added Agent Spider. Of all the characters,
wild.
So
I
awesome.
would have never guessed this one.
Yeah,
like
that is
I saw a picture of this online and thought oh, that's really clever fan art that someone made.
I also thought it was fake,
because there's no way that they're actually going to put that character in the game. And then when I saw the official tweets about it, I was just like, oh man, that's so cool. I've become a bit of a lapsed player, but that brought me back because I was like, I have to make sure I get this character.
TJ, what were you just fucking looking at? It happened.
I was
making fun of TJ before the podcast started that he's always like, what the fuck, where's the ghost at? And he was just doing it.
First of all, we are on 152 episodes now, and I think I've done that one time in all of our time.
Okay, all right.
One time,
all right.
Once.
Someone's got to know.
And
Chris Wise, figure it out.
And Wyatt has proof because he did he captured it, and it's on
a TikTok about it.
And it was true. There was a demon. There was a demon in my house.
All right, sorry. Back to Invincible.
Anyways, if you would have asked me to write down 20 characters I thought were coming next in the Guarding the Globe mobile game, I would have never. Agent Spider would not have been one of them. The elephant, I would have thought the elephant over Agent Spider.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that made it just that much more cool. That it was all right, that's pretty fun.
Octoboss.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. He was season 2.
True. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And
It definitely feels like
more-
they were sitting around in that office working on the game and be like, I know we have these other characters lined up, but wouldn't it be funny if we
Yeah.
did that? And they were all like, let's do it.
Hell
Like
yeah.
that's the energy I get from him coming to the game. Very cool.
Yep. The this cat randomly came across Twitter. I think it was Connor over on Twitter that pointed out like, hey, there are these collectible blind bags of little minifigures of Invincible characters, and they're only available at Target. So those are a thing. I got some of them. I got
What?
Oh yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
That
Bill,
was
I'm gonna
it was
grab mine real quick.
crazy seeing something like that exists that we didn't know about. Because now
right?
that makes me feel like we're heading into that like Walking Dead territory where there's so much merch now that I don't think we're there yet. But this is the first
Close.
like glimpse of it.
I think we're there. That's like you're dipping your toes into
No,
there-ness.
I
Yeah,
don't
right.
count it until I
Hey,
walk.
What?
That is
What?
really cool. I don't
I
count
gotta
it
go.
until I walk into a Spencer's or a Hot Topic and I see Invincible on the wall.
This was
That's
close.
There,
where
if
I'll
you go,
count.
Oh, you got an
if
E?
you go to hottopic.com, they have Invincible hoodies there.
Did they really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Oh, an Omni Man.
Yeah,
Oh,
got
they
an
look
Omni-Man.
Omni-Man
great
looks
too.
awesome.
They look really cool.
So I got
And
two
then I
more.
got-
Oh,
I
a
got a
Mauler.
Mauler.
So I got two more of them. I had like an original, like 6 or so that I ordered. I got two more and they arrived today. So I'm opening them right now. I don't have a Battle Beast, a Bulletproof, or an Allen. So here we go. If I get a
I didn't
Battle
even know
Beast,
those were the. I didn't even know those were the like secret ones or
the
the like
secret
little.
ones are the beat up mark, which you have.
Yeah.
It looks like Bulletproof, and then
Okay.
it's the Molar.
Oh yeah.
So it'd be really cool to get a Battle Beast on this episode. And it's another robot. So I've got 3 robots. One of them's going to Chris Wise. Do you have one yet, Wyatt?
I do not. I'll
Well,
steal it from you.
One of them's going to you. And then this one.
How much are these?
Hey!
Hey!
Alan.
Thank you, Connor.
I think they were like $5,
Yeah.
something like that.
And it's one figure per bag.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Reminds
Got a
me
new
of our
one.
Hero
God.
Clicks days.
I was just gonna say that, TJ.
Mhm.
It feels like the same kind of obsessive, like gotta go and buy a whole crate.
Yeah, but then between whoever's getting them, it's like, I got 2 of these and I'll just trade them. And,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Wyatt, if you get a duplicate of,
There
whoever.
we go.
A duplicate?
Duplicate of duplicate. So yeah,
Got some multi-calls.
as of now, the only place we've seen those at is Target, and for me and us,
Yeah.
Bill and TJ, online because none of the local stores have them. So
Mhm.
you have to get it online.
Hmm.
Then after that, I don't even remember. It was sometime within the last week or so. They released the season 3 poster. If you're watching the YouTube video, I'll pop it up on screen right now. Featuring the White Room with Mark holding Cecil by the neck with a fist back. They're both bloodied, and there's Reaniman coming out of the shadows, the white shadows, behind them. And it looks pretty awesome. What do you guys think?
Mhm.
Yeah. This was the moment that I was like, "Oh, we're kicking into high gear here," because I knew the panel was coming up for the Brazil Comic Con, and so we were like, "Okay, we'll get something then." But I wasn't expecting anything before that. I was kind of assuming like, "Oh, wait till the weekend and we'll get either some posters and hopefully a trailer." So as soon as that was shown, and the fact that that scene is being shown in the poster, I was immediately filled with the like giddiness because my prediction was that that's going to happen pretty early in the season,
Yeah.
that scene will happen early when we were doing our episode titles. So I feel even more confident that we'll see some of that stuff in the first 3, that since they're releasing the first 3 all at once, I feel pretty confident that we'll see that scene in those 3.
Definitely. Now, if everybody
Did not plan that at all. Did not
You
plan
did.
that. Swear to God I did not. Swear
No
to
way.
God I didn't.
You're gonna take your headphones off. You're gonna have Invincible earrings on under your headphones.
So for any listeners, TJ took his Invincible hoodie off to reveal a Battle Beast t-shirt, which he absolutely planned.
Swear to God. Swear to God it was not.
So TJ and Bill, like, if you could, like, what were your initial thoughts of, like, again, trying to forget the fact that we've seen the trailer. Were you
Mhm.
concerned at first, like, oh, they're showing this?
Yes, that was my
I
first
went-
initial thought.
Yeah, when when we sent it in the thread, I was like, holy fuck, spoilers. Like,
Yeah.
and I like to put myself in the shoes of someone who doesn't know.
Yep.
So then I try to speculate what I would be thinking if I didn't know what was going on. Like, I was thinking people are going to think, is Mark bad? Did he do something to get the Guardians and Cecil against him? Or is Cecil bad and vice versa? So if you don't know what's going to happen.
Okay. So this image is kind of reminiscent of issue 50, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which that
Yeah.
cover would have been solicited 3 months prior to issue 50. So at the end of issue 47, this
Mhm.
could have been the teaser that we saw. At the end of 47, we don't know what that means. We would just see that as, oh shit.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like the same thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
I'm
that's
totally
what I was trying to
That's-
do. I was
that's-
trying to speculate. Like, yeah,
I think
it's
that's
very cool.
awesome. I think it's really cool
Yeah.
for because like, last season kind of ended on that bit of a like that downer, like what happens next? Where's this going to go? To get people who don't know the comic to be like, "Oh shit, like why? Like what is happening here?" And we know how big of a deal this is and what it leads to and everything like that. This is just the start. This just feels like
Yeah.
the beginning. And I think
Yeah.
that's a really cool way to get people in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And even though it does, I think it feels a little bit like, oh my gosh, there's this big moment that they're revealing already in a poster. I feel like it's a nice way to like remind people who watched season 1 and 2, and especially season 2, how there's so much tension between Mark and Cecil throughout that whole season. And that's a story thread that doesn't really pay off in a huge way in season 2, because they kind of end with Cecil being like, hey, don't be so
Yeah.
hard on yourself. You're not your dad. Like, it almost seems like things are resolved. And this poster felt like sort of a promise of being like, that story thread is not over, and it's going
Mhm.
to build into something big in,
I
the
remember us
early
talking
parts of
about
this
that
next
because
season.
there are even moments where like Debbie and Mark are like, "Don't come near us," and Oliver like, "Stay away from
Mhm.
us." And then the season ended and they're all cool again. And we're like, "Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have
It's also
done something with that."
Yeah. It's also interesting because with the teaser that came out, with them sitting in the cafe, like they kind of have a
Yeah,
normal relationship. So
you're
you're like,
right.
what the fuck? Like,
You're
especially if
right.
that's what you have to go by, you know?
I didn't think
Yeah.
about that. If as a
Yeah.
non-comic reader, the last thing you saw was the teaser of these two being all friendly in the
Yeah.
diner.
Kind of chummy. Yeah.
Chummy. I was gonna say chummy too. You bitch. So yeah, that was the poster, and then we found out that Invincible was nominated for the best animated series at the Critics' Choice Awards. It is up against, and I didn't catch when the awards are, but it is up for best animated series against Batman: Caped Crusader, Bob's Burgers, Bluey, Simpsons, and X-Men '97.
What great company to be
Yeah,
in.
Right?
for
I
real.
don't love our odds, because I
I
know
know.
how great a
Mhm.
lot of those shows are and how much a lot of people loved them.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether or not it ends up
Yeah.
winning something, the fact that it's being mentioned alongside what I think are some incredible shows,
Yeah.
not just like Bluey, obviously, I think is incredible, but
It's
X-Men
incredible.
97, one of the best like
Yeah.
things that has come out of Marvel in years at this
And
point, like, and just
also,
one of the best animated shows I've ever seen. Like,
Right?
and Batman Cape
ugh,
Crusader was incredible.
yes,
It was
I
it
so
still need
really
to
good.
watch
was.
it. Was it?
It's so good.
Yeah, that's going to be
Oh, the
definitely a
animated
point
series,
that
like
I need to
90s.
bring up on our other stuff show that will be
Yeah.
coming
Next month.
soon.
Same.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah. A lot to talk about in the other stuff show next month.
Like
Oh,
and
yeah.
Lots
subscribe.
of homework to do. Lots of homework.
Bill,
Really
I'm done with my
excited.
homework. I did all of it.
You would. You had it done the week afterwards,
I have
probably.
done
No,
so much.
actually, I just watched Paddington 2 like last week.
Paddington and Paddington 2 are the only two things I haven't. They're the only thing I haven't done yet.
Oh,
but
we can't
I've
talk
done,
about it.
Nope.
Shit.
but I've
Nope,
done
you
so much
can't.
extra credit. I feel like that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You did go above and beyond, because are you on?
I just finished book 3, but we can't talk about it now. We can't talk
Okay,
about
all
it.
right.
So best of luck to Invincible at the Critics' Choice Awards. Obviously, we'll talk about it here if they win that.
Yeah.
Then just this past Saturday was or this past weekend was CCXP over in Brazil. I don't know if you guys saw, there was an image of kind of the show floor to show like the booth that Prime Video had with the big Invincible wall and like the
Mhm.
logo everywhere and everything like that. So that looked really, really cool. There was also a really cool interview video that was put out by CCXP with them talking to um, Gillian Jacobs, Sandra Oh, and Robert Kirkman, which
Mhm.
was a nice chat between them and the hosts. They did a really good
Yeah.
job. And it just seemed like Brazil was like an awesome convention. Like they really
Yeah.
showed up
There
for
was
Invincible.
so
Everything
much
did.
other stuff there too. Like it
Yeah, there
looked
was a ton of
nuts.
stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's pretty great. And trying to think if there was anything that really came out of that interview other than just like them just being great people.
Yeah.
It was
It
kind of
it
fun.
just seemed really cool to see. Like I think when they posted the video of Sandra Oh and Jillian Jacobs like walking out on stage, just to see that, like, I was watching the video, I was like, I can't believe this is a bunch of people in Brazil who
Yeah.
are screaming and losing their minds
Yeah.
because of Invincible, and like it's become this huge international thing. Like is wild. It's so cool to see.
And it's always cool to see the actors that know the characters. Like they're asking them questions
Yeah.
about, their relationship with Mark and where's this gonna go and what would Debbie do in this situation and all those kind of things. And like they know the characters. And she was talking about her other character in I forgot what show it was, but like taking Cecil's job. Like she would be able to take him on. Like, that kind of stuff
Yeah.
was just fun. Um and then they released at that giant, stage, they released the season 3 trailer, which we're gonna talk a little bit more in a minute, uh, along with what was announced today, which was the release, or the announcement of Invincible Presents Battle Beast.
The day of this
Uh,
recording.
yep. Oh, speaking of Battle Beast, who is
Speaking of a
this?
battle beast.
This is Mako. This is Liz's new kitten.
Oh,
Aw.
hey.
Mako. Say hi. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh my gosh, it's a little orange kitten.
He's very cute.
He is. See, that's worth watching the video version just for that
Yeah.
alone. Hey, Liz.
They said hi.
So, before we talk about the Battle Beast comic, let's talk about the season 3 trailer. So, let's start with just some initial impressions, and we'll kind of chat through all the different things. I've written down kind of like scene by scene what goes on, and we can talk about some highlights and standouts and differences and everything. So, what did you guys
Okay.
think?
So I can't believe how. First of all, the stuff that we saw in the trailer is probably the first, like, third of the show of the series
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the season. Like,
Yeah.
not much more than that.
I think we
And the
can all
fact that
agree
they
that
put so much in,
almost
like,
entirely the first 3 episodes, right? Like, get
Yeah.
that out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's
Yeah.
much, maybe a
I
scene
think
or 2.
there's some shots here and there that I'm excited to discuss that are
Yeah.
very quick cuts that we can talk about. But for the
There's not
most
gonna
part,
be-
yeah, I'm saying nothing. I would say very little beyond episode 4 at the most.
Yeah.
Like,
there is not going to be one wasted minute in this season. Not one wasted minute. It's going to be too much. People, like, I think Kirkman said, like, it's going to be every episode is going
every
to
episode
end,
feels like a
and
finale.
it
Yeah.
literally is going to. I have the utmost faith that he was being 100% truthful with that statement, because
Yep.
holy shit.
Yeah, that was right. That same thing. Like, initial impression was like, they're showing so much, but then like on sitting on it, it's like, okay, so if that might just be like, we always talk about this. They're hour-long episodes. They put a lot into these episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, TJ?
Oliver. I mean,
Oh.
just seeing him and hear, like, one thing that I think is strange, because I feel like normally leading up to the next season, they will announce voice casting first a little more. Like, who is playing Oliver? Like, we don't even know that yet. We don't know that voice, but we
We've heard
heard
Oliver,
his
yeah.
voice. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
So it was cool
Yeah.
to see him and hear his voice and like see that there's like a scene with him and talking to the Maulers and like maybe that happens sometime in the show.
I thought that was going to be spoiled. I'm like, they're not going to show this, are
Right?
they? Like,
Yeah.
I got nervous.
But yeah, and then we get, obviously Powerplex. We get I don't know, all these characters. We see Titan again. Yeah, it was but again, the
Would you
beginning
guys-
too, I was thinking kind of what I was thinking with the poster. It's like, oh, like the Cecil stuff. Like I get it. Like you said, Ryan, it's comparable to the issue 50 cover. Maybe I saw that a couple months before it came out. But this like went deep into the story. Like you're working with D.A. Sinclair. Like what is going on? And he's like, it confirmed what the poster is. Like this isn't misdirection. They're in the White Room, and he's like,
Showing
this
the
is for my enemies. This is for
Yeah.
you, Invincible.
Mhm.
And then hitting the
That
button
shot,
and everything.
too.
Like
Yeah.
so good.
I get it. They got
That
to
was
sell
the
the
only
show.
scene
They got to sell the show.
for me.
But I'm
I
like,
have a
Was
thought.
too much.
That was the only scene for me. Was showing the button was the only scene for me. I was like, yeah.
Here we go. So Invincible is now well established. So you know who all the heavy hitters are, all the players are for the most part. The first two seasons, like when they released the season 2 trailer, like there wasn't much to like build on other than Omni-Man's back, right? Like that's it. So they had to establish like people are excited. They're like, oh my god, they know who Cecil is.
Mhm.
And they know where he stands, and all of a sudden it's flipped over. So so many people are excited to watch this, not knowing what the fuck is going on because they know who all these characters are and what the relationship should be. So I think that it was smart to like make people confused and get them super excited because that's not even the thing. Like
I know.
that's
the
not
point
even
I was
the
going to
thing.
make. The point I was going to make is that I think they did such a good job of not only in the marketing of season 2, but in the framing of season 2, that it is the Angstrom season, right? Angstrom is the overarching villain. And if you look at this poster and then this trailer, you're like, oh, Cecil's the villain
is the
of this
season.
season.
Yeah.
And he's not. Like he's he's not going to be that. And so I feel like that's going to take people on such a ride throughout the season, which is it's so exciting. It's so exciting.
It almost feels like we just saw the trailer for a movie, which is the first act. Like that's just act 1 of this season. That's what I'm assuming. We could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the trailer for the first act of season 3, and there's no break. This is just going to go back to back to back. So
exciting.
So just to kind of walk through a little bit here, the trailer opens up with Mark working out, using the same thing. Like I could say this a million times. I'm just going to say it now to blanket the whole thing. This trailer, more than anything else, is the comic brought to life. Like I don't know if there's a scene in this that wasn't from the comic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything is
I think that's what made this trailer, for me at least, a little more exciting even than some of the trailers for season 2. Because like thinking back to season 2, it was like, oh, there's a shot of Doc Seismic at the Washington Monument, and there's, I
or like that
maybe
thing
that
with
happened, or I
Angstrom
don't.
in the
I'm like, I don't
trailer.
100% know what's going on there, but I'm excited for the mystery of it. This one, it's just like every time they cut, they go, I was like, oh, it's the thing,
Yeah,
it's this happening, and so it was just that over and over again.
It just goes to show how awesome the comic book is from this point on. The fact that they don't have to add stuff or expound or take stuff out.
Even though they will.
Yeah.
But,
I'm sure they will, but it's like the closer they adapt it, the better it's going to be, and it's going to be better than anything we've seen.
And I think it's
far.
that they know they've got the hits, and so let's put those hits in the trailer and get people excited about it.
So Mark is working out. They're talking about him, exercising to strengthen up. All this is up this percent and everything like that. He's faster, stronger, all these things. We get a clip of Doc Seismic and Nightwing 2 underground. So it's like, all right, that scene's happening. We see Mark punching the giant, which we know he fights the giant based on the season 2 script in the quick video in the diner or in the Burger Mart. Rex has a great line where he walks in and says, way to make a fellow superhero feel inadequate. Glad it's not leg day. Pretty funny. We see Reaniman and at the same underground thing, and Cecil talking about reforming the bad guys. Mark yells at him for working with D.A. Sinclair. He's like, no, I don't lock him away. We reform him. Should I lock you away?
For killing Angstrom.
Great line.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
We get a second of Mark flying head first into the missile that gets launched.
Mm-hmm.
We know what that comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are introduced to Kid Omni-Man. What do you guys think of the costume, the voice, his look? Tell me what you think about.
I think it's
about him.
perfect.
I also think it's perfect. That's
everything's perfect.
That kid,
Everything's perfect.
whoever that kid is, the way that he's like, I'm Kid Omni-Man. Like that's how I read it Like I wasn't
Yeah.
disappointed by his voice at
Yeah.
all.
It doesn't sound
And
like
the way they're playing it, the immediate like art being like, he told me it was for Oliver. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
it's so
you're
funny.
already just being like, I can't believe he's
Genius.
saying that.
that's not in the
Yeah.
comic, is it? That
Yeah,
line?
I don't
That's
think that
so
he says
smart.
that. No.
That's
Mhm.
so smart. I love that.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a little kid voice actor in a little kid's show. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like that. It sounds like it sounds really good. Like it sounds like a
Yeah.
kid. But it doesn't sound like a bad kid actor. Like it sounds good.
I think
So
I
I was
need to
really
hear more of it though, because I mean,
Yeah.
what we did hear of him, he was very excited, so it did
Oh.
kind of sound a little like childish to me. But I'm sure it's
Yeah,
not.
but it was supposed to.
You
Like
wanna hear the
Exactly,
he's
serious
supposed
exactly.
to.
I want to
Mhm.
hear
Yeah,
the
he's supposed to sound like Robin. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know,
Which is gonna
overly
make it
excited.
more exciting when we get to those moments where he's like,
right.
don't you ever think Dad was right?
Oliver is kind of the
Digging me
season
in the
1.
vein.
Well, I was gonna say, no, the season 1, flip of, like, this is a rated R, like, there's nothing violent about this,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yeah.
you get to the end of episode 1. So I almost feel like that's the Oliver, which might mean that's all episode 1, which I think it is. Um,
Mhm.
so then we see, Oliver fighting, or in his early costume, which is the same kind of costume that
Yeah, that
So
was
good.
awesome. That wasn't in the comic either, right? He
No.
didn't have anything
No.
like
I
that,
don't
did he?
think so, yeah. And they frame
That
the
was
shot the same way of Mark and Nolan
all
talking,
on
and
there,
then
yeah.
now Mark and it's so
Such
good.
awesome. God damn it! I hate it. It's so good.
It's so good. Um, then there is Alan. I'm sorry, not Alan. Oliver and the Maulers. We get a glimpse of them. We get a glimpse of Oliver in the wall saying like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what does he say?" He's like, "Oh, you really messed up" or something like that.
Yeah.
And the Maulers kind of mocking him. Yep. There's a moment of Alan and Nolan in the prison. Alan says, "Come on, we'll break out of here and We'll go get we'll go get Mark and that other kid, or
Yeah.
whatever,
Whatever his name is.
whatever his name is."
Mm-hmm.
Um, Then we got Multipole on
Yeah.
the step
Very cool.
again,
Yep.
ripped from the pages. Which
Yeah.
does that
Looks-
mean? Does that mean we're gonna get him? Do we get introduced to Dropkick and
Dropkick
Fightmaster?
and
It's in that scene.
Yes.
you
I say
kind of
yes.
have to. It's the only way that we get King Immortal. Like
No,
So
Yeah.
do we introduce those?
you
two
don't think so, TJ?
we will get that, but it's not going to be that in there. It's
Well, that's
going to
what
be
I'm
its own
saying.
separate thing.
This is when they get introduced, but then they show
Yeah.
up a few issues
Later.
later. Do you think
Yeah.
That's
do you think that happens the same way? And will we get the King Immortal episode this season?
King Immortal this season, no. I think I think
Yeah.
we will. I think we will
think we
hit
do.
Dropkick and Fightmaster. I think we will get
But you
that.
think
I think it'll be the same because their introduction is so weird and random that when they actually come back, that's what makes Invincible Invincible. Is like these
Yeah.
random things occur and then they come back and they're major
however
things.
with
So
season
yes,
1, they Flaxens, they're like, "No, let's condense this."
they don't have
So-
to do
Yeah.
that because the volume 1 was not
Yeah.
like they had to do that. They don't
Yeah.
have to do that with this.
The King Immortal thing feels isolated enough that they could be like, we have so much going on. Let's save that for next season where we'll
I
plug it
disagree.
in somewhere.
Here's where I stand. I think that it will be Black and Blue Suit because it is in the comics, and that means I think it will be this season. I think that if what we saw in this trailer is the first 3 episodes, we still got what 5 other episodes. I think
Yeah.
it'll be like episode 4 or 5 shortly after getting the Black and Blue before things get too serious. And I think it's like Atlantis. He goes away for like
Right.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh,
I hope you're
5
right.
hours. 5 hours
Because
of
it's gotta-
potential stuff.
it's got to
Come on,
interrupt
guys.
the date with Eve. Oh, guys, this season.
I know.
Multipole looks cool. I love the shaved sides. He's
Oh yeah.
excited for that. No duplicate or immortal in the entire trailer, was there?
There's
Immortal
a
was
shot
in
of
it.
Immortal
Immortal was in
that I definitely
Oh,
want to talk about.
fighting-
It's a very quick shot.
Fighting Invincible, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Can we talk about that shot right now?
Sure.
So
But
in that
he's
shot, because
he's not Ryan. He's not dressed. He's not dressed. He's not the same
It's-
dress
Shut
of
shut-
what
shut-
you're
shut up, TJ.
you're
Shut up, TJ.
implying.
I don't know.
So in Invincible, in that he's in the like yellow and blue suit, but if you pause it and look at it, he has no goggles,
And
and
he
the
has-
goggles are not broken.
he has the
It is a
pointed.
design it is one of the alternate Invincibles.
Yep.
100%.
It
It
almost
is one of the ones from the Invincible War. It
Mm.
has like that Spider-Man shape to it,
Yes.
where it's clearly a cutout mask. It's not goggles that were broken, and
Are
he's
you
like punching
serious?
Immortal.
And it
It's
is the same.
I'll send the images and we can like put it in here if we want to, but it absolutely, there is a 1-to-1 version of
It is
that in the comics of the same mask.
And it's the
Yeah.
same alternate Invincible that I want to say rips the head off Immortal and throws it through somebody or something.
Yeah, I think so.
And like Shapesmith is like dying in the background or something. Like
Yeah.
same costume design. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. King Immortal is dressed completely different.
No, that I was saying it was the alternate Invincible, not
Okay.
King Immortal. But yeah. But after Multiple, we see a bit of the White Room. Cecil leads Mark into the White Room. He's like, "What are we doing in here? Why are you?" And then we see a brief second of the Cecil flashback, the secret origin of Cecil Stedman with, shoot, I forgot to look up their names. It was something about like the Order of the Flying Fist or something like that. It was the two
I think you're right.
The
The
two
Order of the
characters.
Flying Fist. Yeah.
Where else
The-
would that be from? How did I pull that out? That's a really random. But
I remember it because I think that was my last issue spotlight, was that, because that's in
Oh.
the back of 50.
oh, you're
You're
right.
saying who the other origins were?
No, it was the villains that
The villains that are
Cecil
like
fights
punching Cecil.
and kind
Yeah.
of leads to his origin. So brilliant season. Of course, it had a reason to include this. It just makes sense. So that's really exciting that we're getting that. And it's not something that needed its own episode, even. You know what I mean? Like this is.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how much of it we get too.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. Do we get TJ in that little mini origin issue? I think we see what's his name that trains Rex.
Yeah.
So we might get
I'm pretty sure you're
introduced
right.
to that character, laying the seeds with a
isn't-
voice actor for a Rex
For
Blood special.
the special, they have to.
Isn't that the one?
They-
It's,
It would be cool if they did, because they didn't do that as much with Adam Eve. They didn't really need to. But if they know they're doing like an Rexplode special after the season, it would be cool to like put Easter eggs in there leading up to that. That would
Yeah.
be cool.
Radcliffe, I think his name was. Anyways,
Yeah.
so that's very cool. We see Battle Beast attacking one of the prison guards in the prison ship. And then we see 2 or 3 quick glimpses of Powerplex, both standard Powerplex straight on, and then we see the moment of him shocking Invincible. We see Mr. Liu in his dragon form at the penitentiary,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which is a scene from the comic.
Stronghold.
Yep. We see the rest of the scene. What did you find, Bill?
that scene. That
Oh yeah, that
The alternate Invincible.
and his costume is even different too. Like he's got a blue like belt around his waist instead of.
Mhm.
yeah, man. They're showing
That's an
some
alternate
stuff.
Mark.
I
They
love
are.
that they
It's a
I
little
love that they
secret.
just slipped that one in there, because again, it's a blink if
And
you
it's-
blink
and
and you'll miss it, and it's just enough for the sickos like us who are
Yeah.
gonna pause it and
Like if
zoom
it were
in
if
to
it
be like,
were
hey, something's happening.
if it were like a red and blue mark, like obviously you'd know, but
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
just enough.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We continue the scene in the White Room where it shows that the rest of that conversation where it's like, I'm protecting from you. I'm in this room to protect myself from you,
Yeah.
or something like that, and hitting the button, and Mark saying, "Is that all you got?"
What an epic cinematic shot with the the thumb
Like a
right in the
sweep,
so
the hair
good.
flowing. Yeah.
Oh
it's great.
yeah, the like
All the
echo of
red.
it all happening, so great.
We see this shot of a bunch of nukes going off on a map. That one's I'm not entirely sure of. I have
That's
guessed
the
it,
depth
yeah.
of everyone. They're switching it around.
Dude,
They're just
honestly,
gonna throw
honestly,
dinosaurs
if you
in.
told me
and-
that was from anything in the comics, yeah, that makes the most sense. Is it's Dinosaurus bomb?
True. Yeah.
But I mean, it's not.
No.
It's not.
It's not.
Audio listeners, Bill's doing a lot of work with his eyebrows right now.
I'm doing that very famous
Yeah.
meme.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We see this, and then after that, we see that alternate Mark for a split second with the Immortal. We see Titan standing up behind his desk. Then we see Mark holding Cecil up against the wall, saying, "I will never work for you again." And that's where it ends. It cuts to Invincible, and then Mark just says he needs a change, and we see him wearing the blue suit, and it's like, how does it feel? And he's like, I don't know, it feels a little serious, which is just a good line.
Yeah.
So,
And we also get Oliver, I think, being like, "You look awesome!" Like
Mhm.
he's all psyched about it.
yeah, very excited about it. Yep. So that was the trailer for season 3. Again, like, you guys think this is a good trailer? Too much? Do we think we get
I
more? Like, leave it at
So
this?
I said this last episode when we were talking about what we thought the trailer could be, and I mean, I guess this opinion, I guess, doesn't matter because of the opinion that I had before, which is I don't even want a trailer. Like,
I know,
don't
right?
give me anything. I
Yeah.
I don't want to see anything or know anything. Obviously, we can't do that. We need to talk about it. But I mean, even for it being a trailer, like understanding that they got to put out a trailer, I still feel like it was a little much. But I just don't want people to know. I just want them to be
You just
surprised
don't
on
like to
everything.
be happy. You just don't like to be happy. You're like, I don't want a trailer, and if I see a trailer,
Because
it
I
should just
trust
say
them.
Invincible, and that's it.
Would you be nervous without a trailer? Would you be going in? You don't trust them by now?
No, but I'm more hyped. Aren't you more hyped? Aren't you like, holy fuck, like I'm I'm hyped. It got me revitalized.
I couldn't
Yeah.
be more hyped, Bill. Couldn't be more hyped.
TJ exists at maximum hype
A-
at all
a
times.
Trailer's not going to get me more hyped for this show, okay?
So I think the
But yeah, I sorry, Ryan, I interrupted
no,
you.
go.
I feel okay about how much they showed because of what we talked about before. That it feels very much like it's showing a lot, but it's showing a lot to set a certain expectation for what this season is. And if it ends up being everything that we kind of feel like it's going to be, with all of the stuff that we know is coming right after all of the stuff they showed, then I'm okay with this trailer. Like, for it being as exciting as it was, like, and for them showing as much as they did, assuming that we're getting the season that it certainly seems like we're about to get, I'm okay with what they showed.
It is
Yeah.
great misdirection, because the stuff they showed is enough to make people hyped about if that's the full season. And the fact that even more crazy shit is going to happen is going to floor people. I think that it was a fucking genius trailer.
So the major, from knowing from the comics, pulling from this trailer, the major beats are the fight with Doc Seismic, Underground, Night Boy, Nightwing 2, all that kind of stuff. The Maulers and Kid Omni-Man, and Cecil and Invincible fighting. Like, those are the 3
And the
major
costume.
beats. Well, and
Yeah.
then getting the costume.
Yeah.
That's 3 major beats. We know that it launches with 3 episodes. I think the 3rd episode ends with getting the costume, and that's like, boom, this is season 3, and like, now
Yeah.
you can begin season 3
When did we learn that it drops the first 3 episodes?
when we got a date.
New York Comic Con.
It did
Yeah.
say?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I
I
know.
missed that. That makes me
Yeah.
really kind of sad.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Pretty
Yeah.
sure we talked about this on the podcast.
we did. But like as a, again, Bill, step away from what it means for us and like all that. As a non-comic reader and everything like that, everything you just saw, most of it I think will be your first
Mhm.
day of watching Invincible. You binge the first
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
episodes, you've seen all of that. What are the next 5 weeks? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's so exciting to
Yeah.
see all of those things pay off. Again, assuming that's what it is. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that'd be pretty smart. Yeah. So yeah. Any we've got some emails here actually.
Ooh.
What's-
All right. So the first 3 episodes are launching. We will get a new trailer for the rest of the season at the end of episode 3.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we got something like that, but I don't think it'll be as like meaty as this one or as long. I think it'll be one of those
Yeah, I
things that's like the rest of this season on Invincible, and it's maybe like 30-40 seconds of
They didn't do that.
clips.
They didn't do that with season 1. They dropped all three
right.
episodes
True.
They
True.
did do mini teasers before
for the next
each
episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
on the Monday or whatever it was of the following week, it would be like just a couple quick flashes, and we'd be like, "Oh, it's the Mars episode."
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
almost hope they will definitely do that. I have no doubt because they got to promote it. But man, it'd be so
Yeah.
cool if they didn't, because people would have no idea where this is going.
Yeah. I think they'll try to get creative with which clips they
Yeah.
show as to not like play their hand of what's
Oh yeah,
coming.
oh yeah. Yeah, let's do a couple emails before we talk all about the Battle Beast comic book that was just announced. Uh, Wyatt, anybody want to take one
Yeah,
of the
I'll take this
emails?
one. So this says, "Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great holiday season so far. Between the season 3 trailer and Battle Beast announcement, all I have to say is holy shit. We're eating good next year. I don't know how I'm going to get any work done today. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Take care, Frank S." Which I will echo that sentiment, because when this news dropped like first thing this morning, all I wanted to do when I'm looking at this beautiful art on my phone screen was like, I just want to go to my laptop or to the TV and like bring this art up
Right.
as big as possible to look at it, but I have to get ready to go to work and I need to go to work. So it's been, yeah, I echo that sentiment, Frank.
Yeah, it's very cool. I've got one here from Annie Yavin. So, hello, Ryan, Bill, TJ, and Wyatt. My name is Annie Yavin. First off, I hope you guys are doing well. I just watched the Invincible trailer, and I am so excited about it. Seeing Mark in the blue and black suit was amazing, and I can't wait to see what he does in the new suit. Oliver, or Kid Omni-Man, starting to grow up and fight crime with Mark was so fun to see. Seeing Mark talk to Oliver the same way Nolan and Mark talked in season 1 was fun as well, especially with Oliver wearing the same outfit as Mark did in season 1. It would be funny if both of them went to art to get Oliver's superhero suit after their talk, just like how Mark got his. I am surprised that Eve doesn't have any lines in the trailer, but we will still see her in a few. But we still see her in a few clips. They are hiding things from us in the trailer, like the Invincible War. I also believe Conquest will appear this season, probably at the end of the 7th episode. February 6th has to come quickly. I need more Invincible now. Love the podcast. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. Thanks, Evan Nevin.
We did. I'll take this next one.
Sure.
Hey, the Invincible podcast. Sam, not a sham here. Is this Sam Sham?
Yes.
It is Sam Sham? Okay, I just thought it was another Sam, and they have to say that they're not Sam Sham here. What a fantastic season 3 trailer. Love that they hid the big stuff and are present Cecil present Cecil as the season's big bad. Some things I noticed: around 1 minute 48 seconds mark, we see an alternate Invincible fighting Immortal. Good call. And my favorite shot was from Cecil's backstory. Ryan called that out.
Sam called it
That
out
was something-
online too.
Oh, sweet. That was something I think would make a great start to the episode following the Mark/Cecil fight. Oliver sounds amazing. I'm not sure who his voice actor or who's his voice actor, but he captures what I read so well. Lastly, I was a little worried they wouldn't have time to show Mark getting stronger in training, but I'm glad they included it since he will need it this season. And of course, the blue and black suit is just chef's kiss perfect. My question for you is, did this trailer change your predictions at all for where the season ends or strengthen your predictions? We are officially in peak era of Invincible. Love, Sam Sham. Sam, not a sham. Yeah, I was so wrong. Like, the fact that they're putting so much into each of these episodes, like we talked about what my prediction was, and I completely like probably flip my opinion. And that involves like Conquest and Invincible War and where it ends. I
Yeah.
think we're gonna get all of Conquest.
Let's see.
I don't remember exactly what all of my predictions were. I just remember the me thinking that the Cecil thing was going to happen fairly early. So I feel it definitely at least strengthened that part of my predictions and how I feel about it. But I still am excited for all of the things that I know I'll be wrong about, or I'll just be shocked and surprised about.
hmm I just looked at my season 3 title predictions. I had the first one, Oliver learning his powers. Second
Oh,
one,
yeah.
Mark fighting with Doc Seismic in the underground thing. Then I got episode 3 being the fight with Cecil, but then episode 4 being the Oliver and Mahler's fight. So that one might have been a little later in my episode predictions. or like that might be moved up a bit. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's overall strengthening what I expected from the first few episodes. You know, again, assuming this is the first few episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Ugh, exciting.
Cool.
TJ?
Do we want to go onto another email?
yeah,
I have one from Murad. I think this is from Murad.
I think
Wait,
you
no,
skipped one.
no. This one's from he said. I think this is Murad, right?
I don't know which one you're looking at.
Just the way you have it set out, like I don't know if it's a separate email. Just looking in our, because we use Discord, and is
The next one would be Connor.
okay. I'm looking at all right. I'll just start here. Hey, hope you guys are doing well. Just watched the season 3 trailer. Let's start with the pros. Suits look good. Voice acting is good, and I'm hyped for Cecil versus Mark, Invincible War, Powerplex, in addition to everything else that will be adapted this season. Another note, it is really cool to see Oliver wearing Mark's homemade suit. However, I have one big issue. The animation for the past few seasons has been subpar. But given the amount of cool shit that is being adapted in this season, it is evident that the animation is not keeping up with the content of the series. If you guys disagree, I challenge you to watch any clip of Jujutsu Kaisen or Chainsaw Man or any recent anime and tell me the animation wouldn't be cooler. Even an American studio like the one used in Creature Commandos would be much better fit and shows how every animation show is above Invincible in animation. I mean, the studio for Creature Commandos does the ads for Invincible where they are at the diner, and those look far better than the actual show. Before I let you go, side note, I don't appreciate them using a studio that is much better than the current one, just as far as the diner teasers. It feels so disappointing that they don't actually use them for the show, and the first one was especially a letdown. Connor.
Yeah, I think that's valid. I think that, it's tough, especially comparing things like these crazy anime studios that is just an absolutely completely different style of animation. Saying that like one is better than the other is just, I think, preference and style. I think that crazy anime, I don't watch a ton of anime. I have watched several, and I think some that I've watched isn't something that I'd want to see in the same style as Invincible. It's not that kind of thing. I think from the very beginning, Robert Kirkman has said that he's wanted the style to be first like the more traditional, like American cartoon, like Saturday morning cartoon type thing, because that kind of juxtapose with the violence and everything that goes on in it. But also, he wanted it to be Cory Walker's art. I mean, he wanted it to very much be this character design from Cory Walker, the creator of the co-creator of this show, and have it look like that. I do agree that it is a bit of a bummer seeing those diner teasers from the other Fallon. I forgot the name of the studio, something Balak, from that studio, because it does look really cool. But at the same time, Skybound, animation is a very small studio, put together by Skybound. Like they are not Amazon. They Amazon just distributes them, and I think they're a smaller studio, and we are getting what we can from this. It is not a huge budget, and so I think it's good.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like Creature Commandos, like
Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it, no.
Same.
But
I
I
did.
mean, DC is well established, and like it's got HBO behind it 100%. James Gunn, I think, wrote it, the whole thing, didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
But it's
I
just
think so.
like, I mean, it's more established. Like they're gonna throw more at it because it's DC's been around and those characters have been around for a while, and Invincible is a rather new IP. So I think, I mean, we talk about the animation all the time, how it's inconsistent, but I feel like they nail what they have to. You know what I mean? They put a lot of effort and time into the crazy fucking action and fight scenes, and that leaves, us wanting a little bit more for the basic scenes, but It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't take me out of it
That's the
whatsoever.
Yeah, I think with sorry, go ahead.
No, go
TJ.
ahead. Go ahead.
I think with any animated show, like even I feel like I probably watch I probably watch the most
Probably.
anime out of the four of us, I would say. I don't watch a ton either, but I feel like there's always going to be the ability to be like to point to the standout shows that do like crush it with action scenes and animation, like the Jujutsu Kaisen and different shows like that. I feel like I feel the same way that you do, Ryan, of like there are certain styles that I don't necessarily know that I would want for that. Like I feel like some of
Yeah.
Corey Walker's style would get lost if we were to like fully embrace a studio in that way. And I also view it as like, you know, there if the attention is going into more so into the like the voice acting and the
Yes.
performances and the cast so that the story beats really hit and that they're nailing the writing and the emotion of it, like that's what's carrying the story for me. That there's always going to be, you know, the ability to compare to other shows and other things visually.
Mhm.
If the fights, the action, the all of the moments are still working for me on screen, I try not to let the comparison part in too much.
Yeah. I mean,
I
it's not. It's sorry, just real quick, TJ. It's not. It's not Arcane. Like it's never gonna be. Like
Yeah.
that show
Yeah.
is like a
Yeah.
work of art. Like that's insane. But Arcane doesn't look like Dan to Dan. You know what I mean? And which
Yeah.
doesn't look
Yeah.
like Marvel's What If, which also
Yeah.
has a very, different art style. Like these are all just different things, and I don't.
And Arcane took like 2-3 years between seasons because it's one of the most expensive shows ever made. Also, like there's a degree of like the logistics behind all of it that you could get lost in, like trying to figure out why one thing is different than the other. And it's easier for me to just focus on like when I sit down to watch the show, is it working and are all the moments hitting that are supposed to hit? And if they are, I'm happy. Like
Sorry, TJ.
Wyatt kind of just said what I was going to say about the like. Okay, so first of all, I don't watch a lot of anime, but there's never been a moment in Invincible season 1 or season 2, different animated styles, in either season where I'm like, oh, that looks bad. Like I don't think I've ever had that moment. Also, don't forget about Philip Shaft. They're aware that they do weird stuff with animation, right? And they make
Yeah.
fun of themselves for it. So I don't know. I'm okay with it, but again, I don't watch a lot of anime, so I don't have much to compare it to. Maybe I will check out those things that Connor suggested. But yeah, I think it's okay. And to the point that Wyatt made is, I would much rather them change animation studios 17 times or once every season, rather than have 2 years in between each season. Just like, this show's so good, give it to me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take me out. Like I think about the scenes that like shocked me, like Angstrom throwing fucking Oliver, and you know what I mean? Like those scenes, like the animation works for what it is.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
it's not a crazy anime thing, you know what I mean? It's more personal. It's more about that stuff. So
But it's all fair. You can everybody can
Mhm.
have their own views and opinions.
Yeah,
on
for
things,
sure.
and that's all.
yeah.
I've got one here. Hello to everyone. My name is Ficht, and wow, what a trailer. But let's just go back a little. I've been an Invincible fan for just around a year from today. It's been really an honor. Just 3 weeks ago, I started reading the comics. I bought every compendium, and I'm just 12 issues away from the end. The comic is really a masterpiece. I can't even express the emotions I felt while reading it. I cried, I laughed, I got excited, every single emotion I felt while reading the masterpiece. Anyways, enough of me. Going back to the big story. Wow, that trailer. We're really going into the blue suit era of Invincible, and I have to be honest, we are not ready. Some cool things I noticed that we can see a bit of Cecil's origin. It's also really exciting that this is actually going to be adapted in the show. Other than that, in the clip where Mark fights Immortal, is that really our Mark? I don't think so. To the comic readers, guys, it's happening. To the show watchers that haven't read the comics, you're in for a treat. To end, thank you guys for providing entertainment to all the Invincible fans throughout the world. Continue the great work. Love from Greece. Also, here's a little drawing I made based off of Ryan Ottley's art of, well, you know who.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Grease?
Greece, man. Ficht, that's hell yeah. That's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's
And
so
get
cool.
ready to cry some more in those last 12 issues that you're about
Oh
to
my
read.
god,
because,
that
oh, yeah.
last issue.
oh,
Oh boy.
Yeah, Fick, I want to hear back. Send us an email.
Yeah,
Let
we
us
need
know
an
what you
update.
think. I want to know what you think of the end, the final issue.
Yeah.
All right. So, and great conquest, by the way. That looks stellar. Good job.
I have to do some research to find a Greece actor that has the first name Ficht, so I can make this name famous.
Yeah.
Because I
Please
don't
do.
know, you know what I mean? I don't
Yep.
know I don't know how to famousize that.
And then the last one, I think for now, if not the last one, I think this is our last email we've got from Murad. Battle Beast. Has there ever been a better time to be an Invincible fan? What other characters do you think deserve a spinoff? I want a Space Racer miniseries. Cheers to 150 episodes now that it's official. Okay, so yeah, we got a Battle Beast spinoff announced. Let's take a minute and talk a bit about this. Um, Let me see. I'm going to read the announcement. It came out via IGN. Invincible returns to comics with Battle Beast series by original creative team. Um, as the name suggests, the new series focuses on the titular villain turned supporting character. Invincible Universe Battle Beast is specifically set in between issues 19 and 55 of the original series, fleshing out a major lost portion of Battle Beast's story. As part of his ongoing quest to find an opponent strong enough to kill him and spare his loved ones from the endless cycle of violence that defines his life, Battle Beast will be forced to consider an unthinkable solution to his problem. And then we've got a few images, which we're going to talk about. Um, Invincible Universe Battle Beast will be written by Kirkman and drawn by Ottley. The first issue features variant covers by artists like David Finch, E.J. Sue, Cale New, Arthur Adams, and John Boy Myers. Fans will have the option to purchase blind bag versions of the first issue that feature one of the variant covers at random and additional bonus mystery comics.
Ooh.
What can We got a quote from Kirkman. What can I say? I just can't get enough of the Invincible universe. Moving from the comic series directly to the animated series, I haven't really had a break. That said, while adapting the series to animation, I have been itching to do something new. Longtime fans will know there's a massive gap in his appearances. There's a lot of story to tell, and I couldn't be more thrilled to have Battle Beast co-creator Ryan Ottley on board to tell it with me. And Ryan Ottley says, when Robert and I first created Battle Beast back in Invincible issue 19 as a way to increase Invincible's rogue gallery, I wasn't sure if he'd be a big character who'd come back throughout the series or a character who'd die in a terrible glory death right away. Robert always kept me and the readers on our toes. He could command a death at any moment, and I'd always jump at a chance to carry the visual execution. Luckily, Battle Beast became a fan favorite and lived to tell a larger tale. It's amazing to be working with Robert again in the Invincible universe. A while ago, I was telling him I wasn't sure what project to do next, and when he mentioned us doing Battle Beast series together, I jumped at the idea of being back on a creator-owned book, enlarging the Invincible universe even more. I'm really happy to be back at Image Comics and Skybound, and can't wait for you to see the story we're fleshing out in this series. I haven't had this much fun since Invincible. Invincible Universe Battle Beast #1 will be released in April of 2025, just weeks after Invincible Season 3 ends. All right.
Goodness.
What do
I
you guys
love that they're
think?
calling it Invincible Universe too.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is, I think, a topic in itself. Just calling it Invincible Universe : Battle Beast. Do you think we get more?
You're right. It's not Invincible Presents anymore.
It's not.
Invincible
Yeah.
Universe.
With a
When
colon
did,
in there. That makes me think we might get like an Invincible Universe, like, I don't know,
Volume 2? Hold on a second. You mean like, other characters?
other characters.
Mm. Yeah, I mean the compendium, right, that came out that had the Eve stuff
Yeah.
is called Invincible Universe, right?
Yep.
And that has
That's what I was just
that
checking.
has like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So we'll get
Yeah.
so I think this could be collected in a 2. I think that I don't think that there's
Well, this and something
necessarily
else.
concrete plans of something like that. I think that just they know that they should leave themselves that door open because
Totally.
Right.
this universe
Because you
is
could do
great.
Terra. You
Sort
could
of-
do
Oh my
Also,
God.
sort of off topic, but I do want to point out that I love
Yeah.
that there's I think just a little bit of subtle shade Otley's throwing at like his work at the non-creator owned books by saying like it's great to be back on creator owned and I haven't had this much fun since Invincible.
Haven't had this
He
much
hasn't
fun.
really Ryan Ottley hasn't really hidden the fact that he loves doing creator-owned stuff though.
Yeah.
Like he very much vocalizes that even when he was doing like Spider-Man and Hulk and stuff, like I think he said like Invincible's his favorite thing
Yeah.
that he's ever done.
Yeah.
Do we know who the rest of the creative team is on this?
Yeah,
Like the
there's
colorist or the?
one big
Annalisa Leone,
yeah,
Annalisa Leone.
baby, let's go.
Yeah.
right?
So great.
Well, we're really
And the
bringing it back, aren't
The
we?
minute
Holy
that I
shit.
realized that, I was like, of course, look at these purples and these
Yeah.
reds and the colors of these pages. Like, it's so good.
For those that don't know Annalisa Leone, she's best known to us for being the colorist on Oblivion Song, which is another Kirkman comic book that is one complete work, and it's incredible. We did a podcast on it. One of my favorite Kirkman things. But yeah, Annalisa Leone coming back is amazing. Also, we didn't mention it, but if you didn't read Skybound X, I mean, go back and read that. That's where the Battle Beast story starts, and what we're assuming is going to lead into this series. So go back and read that.
I'm really curious if the Skybound X25. I'm really curious if that little special issue, like mini 6-page type thing. I'm really curious if that's going to be included in the beginning of issue 1, or if it's going to be one of those things that just exists out there and they,
Like a
you know,
prologue.
they put it in the trade paperback or
I would
whatever.
hope that it would be a prologue, not part of issue 1. And if it is, issue 1 would have to be bigger because I would feel a little robbed.
Did
I'm
they
gonna lie.
say how many issues this is going to be?
They did not.
They have not. They just said that this is issue 1 and that it comes out in April.
Minimum 6. Come on, it's got to be at least a trade paperback.
Yeah.
They didn't say it's ongoing either. I'm a 6.
It could be
or 12.
It could be a Science Dog thing where it's like one issue and then, you know, in the back of Void Rivals number 50.
No, it says ongoing series, bro. No way. No.
I think if it were that, then there wouldn't be an IGN article telling us all
right.
that.
I agree.
Quotes from both of them.
I agree.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think no fewer than 6. I think if it were fewer than 6, there would already be the messaging of like, hey, this is this 4-part, 3-part, whatever little mini series that we're doing. Yeah, exactly. Whereas the fact that they're not saying makes me feel like they probably have a number in mind, but also maybe want to leave the possibility of like, hey, if we're having fun and it's selling really well, maybe we keep it going for a while.
Yeah,
like,
I could see it being like 6 or 12. You know what I mean? Because we know Kirkman likes even like collections. So they're going to be 2 trades or a hardcover. Like,
I think
so exciting.
I hope it's 12. 12 feels greedy.
It
12
does.
feels greedy. I'll be happy with 6.
A whole year of podcasting about a new comic that's going to come out.
If that's 12 issues, starting in January or February, we will have no shortage. We will never have a month where we have nothing to talk about because we have the animated series that leads right into Battle Beast, which then will be monthly. And if TJ's right, if it's a year, if it's 12 issues, that will lead.
And we're going to go right into season 4.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Not counting new video games and all every other thing that we would like be waiting for.
It's happening.
Else, like
it's happening.
It happened. This would be it. Like
not like
we've been saying that every year.
We've been waiting.
The fact
we haven't had this much
break
since Invincible like ended. Like since having new issues every month, even towards the end of all things, and the build up of the end of all things. This is it. We're entering the this is why we started the podcast 9 years ago.
we have less than 2 months. We have less than 2 months before season 3 starts.
Yeah.
And this seems like there was no break. Like it's insane how fast this is. So I'm not ready to like go back to old school, our old ways.
You were just yelling at TJ like last episode for wanting more time off.
Yeah.
He was saying he wasn't ready.
Yep.
TJ, you being the art collector guy, which of those variants, without seeing them, are you most excited for? Of those names that I just read off.
I know you said John Boy Myers. Which one? What other names did you say? Can you read them again?
Yes. Find it in this article again. It was. Where'd it go? Hold on a second. Oh, here we go. David Finch, EJ Sue. EJ Sue being the artist and creator of Tech Jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Cale New, Arthur Adams, John Boy Myers.
Oh man, I love John Boy Myers. He did Teen Titans. He actually did that one of
Yep,
Invincible.
that variant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So probably him, but I mean David Finch, man. It's probably got to
He's
be
a good one.
David Finch. It's got to be David Finch.
I'm excited for the EJ Sue one, just because I really like his style and his history with the
It's going to be
series.
different too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking up David Finch art right now.
Oh,
and
he
yeah,
has,
this,
Dude, he's
he has
incredible.
Type in David Finch Invincible.
and
Yeah,
and
he's got
Battle
one.
Beast will be so awesome
Oh, you're
in
right.
his style.
Yeah. So this takes place between issues 19 and 55. You know, we've seen where he goes after the fight. And then, he goes onto the ship. We saw that in Skybound X-25. And then he ends up on the prison ship, which is when we see him in issue 55, which we're going to see in episode or season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, what are some things you want to see in this series? Like, what are you hoping for in a Battle Beast origin series?
I'd like to see minor cameos, like I don't even know, like him go to a planet that we may have seen in the comic or something. But
Ragnar's is an easy one. I think Ragnar's is probably easy.
Galdarians.
yeah,
Yeah.
Galdarians.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh man, that'd be sick.
Bill's
I
writing
don't-
the whole series in his head right now.
but I don't want to do that.
he would
I don't
destroy
wanna
them though. He
have
would wreck the
expectations. Yeah.
Galdarians.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the tech jackets, though,
I
is that
could
it
wreck the
increases their
Galdarian.
strength. Could you imagine if Battle Beast wore a
I do-
tech jacket?
Oh
Dude,
my god.
that's insane.
We need to stop this. I'm getting too excited.
I did go back and reread Skybound X-25 just to kind of like recap where we left off, and I love that. Remember loving the ship talking to him, the little
Mhm.
computer,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
like it ends with the ship being like, "All right, so given my vast knowledge of the universe, I got to be honest with you. I really liked my previous crew that you
Yeah.
just killed, so
I want to
I'm
kill
gonna
you.
I'm gonna try and kill
I'm all
you."
for killing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Battle Beast was like, "Oh, then
Let's do it.
we align here. So let's go find someone to kill you." Like, "Oh,
Yeah.
come on."
Yeah.
So,
Wasn't that the first day that we met Wyatt in person?
yes,
Yeah, that was C2E2, right?
Yep.
Yep.
When we
Yeah,
talked about
when
that
we
comic.
recorded that.
it was fate.
Yeah.
Like, Wyatt, you were on the
was.
Battle Beast, the first Battle Beast comic discussion,
Mhm.
and now you're going to get to be part of
That moment, we jumped into a new timeline, and now we're on the one with me on the podcast, a Battle Beast comic.
It's
Season
almost
3's
like
coming out. It's all great.
Skybound X-25 releasing like issue 25 way early when they had only released 4 issues. It was almost like we were just kind of putting an episode from the future early.
100%. Yep.
Come on.
Got some weird timeline stuff going on right now.
There is.
Got to wrap my head around. I got to go
Yeah.
smoke something and
Uh,
think about this.
The one thing I want is at least a little clarification on his daughter.
Yeah.
And that
And I feel
and that-
like that's
and that
what's exciting
lineage.
about that press release is because I feel like even just in that, they're saying like, oh, he has a purpose beyond just I want to go fight somebody who's as strong
Yes.
as me. Which even if the comic was just that, even if every issue is just the ship, the robot being like, I found something that I think can kill you and I hope it does, and then we just get gnarly action through each issue, that I would be happy with it. But the idea of him like recognizing that there's this like curse or whatever, I like the idea of that maybe being expanded.
I have a question.
Spare
I-
his loved ones from the endless cycle of violence that defines his life. He'll be forced to consider an unthinkable solution to his problem. So yeah,
Yeah.
Is that his daughter? Is that confirmed, or didn't we like talk about it how it's
it was
not his
not.
daughter?
I'm pretty sure in
Yeah,
144, I thought they said like your father.
I think that was confirmed. We just asked Kirkman if Thula was the mother, and he said it was not.
Hmm.
It was from a previous
Okay.
Yeah.
relationship.
I'm having
Thula?
weird
I could have
fucking
sworn
10
the
years
same
ago
thing.
flashback about
Not
it
Thula.
not,
It not
like
being
us
her, the
assuming
father.
us
could've sworn the
assuming
same
that
thing.
she was his daughter, but the curse just passed on to someone else, not necessarily
Right.
his lineage.
I remember the same
I
thing.
get that. I'm pretty sure it was his lineage, and
The image database on Battle Beast says under relatives, it says unnamed daughter.
yeah, Yeah, they must have said your father's. I think it says your father's blood runs in your vein, or your curse runs in your veins, kind of thing. They
Yeah.
do say something to her about that. Why can't I think of what her name is? The green alien that Battle Beast is with at the end.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Um, Bill, are you looking at
Hmm.
144?
No, I'm looking at imagecomics.fandom.com, and it says that it is his daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
that's
say
what I was on.
they do reference her as being, yeah. All right, so that'll be in April. So very excited to see more. I'm sure sometime during the chaos of season 3, we will see other solicitations for upcoming issues. Hopefully, we'll get some more information about how long the series is.
Yeah.
Get to see those covers of when they're coming out. Um, I can't wait. That's gonna be a blast, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's just so exciting, like looking at those images today. Like we can,
Oh yeah,
I know we
we
didn't
didn't even
really
talk about
necessarily
them.
dive into what the images are, but looking at those today and just seeing more Ryan Ottley drawing things in the Invincible universe, drawing Battle Beasts, like it's so exciting because I feel like just like he did throughout all of the series, he only gets better and better at drawing and his art, and it's just so exciting just to get. Even if it wasn't Invincible, if it was like Ottley is doing a new ongoing creator-owned book, I'd be stoked and excited. And the fact that it's in the Invincible universe,
Why
yeah,
you
so
said it?
so exciting.
You said it best on Twitter. Like as if Battle Beast couldn't get any cooler,
Ugh, the
dude.
cloak.
We
They
didn't
gave
even
him a
talk about
cloak.
the fact that he's wearing
Dude,
a hood and a cloak.
It's all
How
tattered. It's like Spawn almost. Like, oh, it's so
Otley
great.
just posted again day of the recording. Otley just posted like a commission that he's gonna put up. It's not like a
Oh,
commission, but
dude.
like
Mhm.
original art with him on the cloak, and I'm like, oh, I want one of those.
Dude,
Gotta
Battle
have
Beast with
it.
the cloak, it looks
It
so good.
looks
That's
so
such a
good.
I wanna ask about that character design and, like, coming up with that because that is it works so well for him. It works so
It
well.
does. Yeah.
Um,
When in
also
doubt, add a cloak and
in
pouches.
pouches.
Yeah.
Also, Ryan Otley also pointed out, like, he's not selling any of the artwork. Like, his, Felix comic art, isn't selling any of the artwork for the series, which is interesting. I wonder where all
Is
that
it
artwork is
Yeah.
digital?
going.
Is it digital, or is it
I don't think
maybe
so.
that's why.
Maybe?
I don't think that he said
Yeah.
if it is or not, but I would assume that it's
Yeah.
however he has normally done things.
Um, so yeah, that does it. Excited for more about that. Before we wrap up here, we're gonna do a quick issue spotlight. It's been a couple episodes since we've done an issue spotlight. This is where one of us talks all about an issue of Invincible, just that they feel like talking about. We go around the table. Each person gets a different episode, or on a different episode, talks about a different issue, and in like 40 some odd years, we will have finished every single issue. So this month, this episode, it was my turn. Um, we go around usually and ask if anybody has a guess. Anybody want to throw a number out there at the dartboard?
I'm going to guess that it is something involving Battle Beast. I don't know what issue,
Okay.
TJ. You're the, you know,
Hmm.
savant when it comes to issue numbers.
I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be Battle Beast, but I think it's gonna be a bigger issue. I think it's gonna be like
Did we do
trying to
did we
think.
I'm looking at the list right now. Once we've done,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Wyatt.
did we do King Immortal yet? Did we do
I
that one
think
already?
I did that, didn't I?
don't recall. I tried to remember what the issue number is in that one, and I don't know,
Okay.
but it's not that one.
The fact that you're doing all
Yeah,
of that tells me that you didn't pick that one.
no.
Um,
But I will tell you,
hmm.
I probably should have done Powerplex because I haven't done that one yet, and this would have been a good time.
Ooh,
First appearance
yeah,
of Powerplex in the trailer, that would have made sense.
yeah, yeah.
Tell
Um,
us.
All right, ready?
I'm gonna
TJ's
say
gonna
issue 2,
do
just for
just to
shits
start.
and giggles.
Every time it comes to
Yeah,
me, I'm gonna go in order
yeah.
to pick up all the missing ones. TJ?
75. I don't know. I'll just
Okay.
throw that out there.
No. So since I waited till this morning, I was all hyped up on Battle Beast. It is the origin, the first issue of Battle Beast. Good call.
There you go.
So
Nice.
I win.
issue 19. You win, kind of.
I was right.
Yeah.
I was right about something.
All right. Issue 19 cover with really amazing cover, by the way, too, of Invincible and Titan, kind of back to back with all the bullets everywhere. Very cool. It starts with Russ Livingston getting back to Earth, and everybody kind of like, telling him like, "Oh, come on, why are you throwing in the towel? Let's go, keep partying." But he ends up going back to his house. He uses his thumb to make a key because he's shapesmith. Sits on his couch. And he's like, "Oh, I couldn't hold that shape for another minute longer." Issue 2 was volume hardcover volume 2. This is all like they spend these 12 issues just kind of peppering in all the little side stories. I don't think we see Shapesmith again this issue. So there's a lot of that. We get a brief moment with Mark and Eve. William and Eve. William is like coming downstairs after her spending the night on the couch, and he's like, you could have slept upstairs with me. And she like gives him a bad look, and she basically breaks up with him in that moment. Mark comes home to see Debbie still in bed, um, which I noticed there isn't a photo on the wall above their bed anymore. It looks like it was taken down recently. So I kind of want to go back and see if it was a family photo that she took down, you know,
Or just the
because
two of
she is
them.
kind of, yeah, this is kind of going through the moment where she's dealing with alcoholism and drinking a lot. Mark walks in and she's like, "Oh no, it helps me sleep. It just helps." She's like, "You want me to make you something for breakfast?" And Mark's like, "I'm actually going out to lunch with Amber," and kind of like showing that he's really concerned about her. He goes out with Amber, and Amber's like, "Listen, you've been late like every time we're hanging out." And Mark's like, "Yeah, I guess I'm not a punctual guy." And then his beeper goes off and he's like, "Listen, I gotta go." And she's like, "There's something you're not telling me. What's going on?" And he just says like, I'll call you later. It's my mom. I gotta run." And so kind of like laying the seeds for her kind of not only we know in the comics assumes that he's like a drug dealer, but in the comics, especially after watching the show, it was like, she is so fed up with this.
Yeah.
Like, it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of feel a little bit more like in the comic, it's kind of played off as like, it's just Amber. But then after watching the show and the way they really interpret her in that, it's like, yeah, he's kind of being a dick. So
Yeah.
Mark goes off, and he comes across Titan, who has just been like, apparently just destroying buildings that were set to be demolished anyways. He's just making a mess, hoping that a hero would come to him, which Cecil informs him, and Mark does show up, and Titan's like, "Oh, good. It's good to see you again. Listen, uh, I need you to help me take this guy down. He's this big crime boss. His name's Machine Head. He's got all the power. No one can stop him. But I'm sick of him. I'm willing to say something. I'm not scared of him anymore. I just need some muscle. Can you come with me and help me take this guy down?" And Cecil's like, "Yeah, sounds good. Go for it." And Mark's like, "All right, good. Let's go." And Titan's like, "Yeah, we got to go right now then." They have the whole armpitting joke about how to carry somebody when flying. And then they just show up at Machine Head's office. And this is our first appearance of Machine Head. This is like second or maybe third appearance of Titan. You briefly see him, in quick fight scenes. You don't get anything like what they did in episode 5 of season 1 of the show. Like,
Yeah.
you don't get anything like that. And it was just fascinating to read this again and be like they put so much more into the
Yeah.
show and to these characters.
It feels like the show was like, "Oh, we got Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we'll do more than
Right?
what the comic is." Yeah.
So they smash through the window, and Machine Head is instantly like, "Oh, good, you brought your friend. Glad you can make it. Would have preferred to use the door. Couldn't not hear the voice when reading that line."
Yeah.
Uh, and he's like, "Oh, I hope you don't, think I was unprepared for something like this." And then he just like opens up the door, and he wants to introduce first up Battle Beast, Scourge of the Twin Galaxies, whatever that means. He likes to take trophies, so make sure your neck doesn't meet one of his weapons at the wrong angle. And then he goes on to introduce Magnatak, which is the only one of these thugs that doesn't make it into the animated series. He's just kind of like,
Hmm.
it's like he's wearing a black like leotard, but then has all these metal plates on him. So he like sends out
Mhm.
metal plates because he's like a living magnet or something.
Yeah.
And I feel like the only reason they didn't was not because I feel like we asked or something, but there was just
We did talk about this. I remember.
was it that there was just too many I always thought originally that it was
Yeah.
too close to Magmaniac and having Magnatac,
Mm.
and their names are too similar. But anyways, there's Magnatac, there's Kursk, there's Furnace, which is just the big furnace, uh, Magmaniac, and then Tether Tyrant. Again, first time we see a lot of these guys. Even looking at like how uh, Tether Tyrant looks originally, pretty different from
Yeah.
where he ends
Yeah.
up looking.
Hmm. He has
Uh,
like no neck.
yeah, he kind of looks like a troll.
Yeah.
Um, but even like Machine Head being like, no idea what he does, but he does it really well. And then there's just a really great fight scene. It's so cool getting to see Ottley do some of these early action scenes. Tether Tyrant, like, Mark punching Tether Tyrant, he goes flying. Then there's several panels, and then Tether Tyrant comes back, after being
Yeah.
sprung back immediately as soon as Magnatac, right? No, Magmaniac, sorry. As soon as Magmaniac like turns to lava, he immediately falls through the floor. And so there's just like great comedy
Yeah.
beats too
Yeah.
that Otley's always
Yeah.
so good at. Mark, says, oh, he's not holding back. They're all just kind of like start beating the shit out of Mark, but he's like kind of taking it and it's not really bothering him. And then Battle Beast shows up and kind of starts, wailing around on Mark, knocking him out. Uh, Magmaniac really kind of beats up Titan, and both Titan and Mark are knocked out. Battle Beast says, I have conquered 1,000 worlds, countless enemies, galactic empires tremble at the sound of my name. What threat could a boy hold for me? And then in that moment, the Guardians show up, and you see Isotope disappear, but you don't really notice that at first. Um, and then he says, like, get me out of here, and he's gone. Uh, Immortal says that Cecil was listening. He told us to come in and help. All the Guardians help, and they're kind of like taking him out. It's not really a problem. You actually see, Robot helping Monster Girl and showing her like, oh, if you lift your arm 4 centimeters, the resulting weight will, And then we see Shrinking Ray jumping out of an ear, which is kind of a signature move that she does in the show.
Yep.
Yep.
After that, you kind of don't see Battle Beast for a little bit. You turn the page, and Battle Beast is holding Black Samson and Bulletproof up by their heads,
Mhm.
saying, is this the best you can offer? I could kill you all with my bare hands, but it would prove nothing. I came for sport, the thrill of the hunt. I was told this realm offered fierce and worthy combatants. I was deceived. You have nothing to offer me. You have been a pathetic waste of my time. Today is not a good day. He throws them down, steps through a portal, and Mark calls him a jerk. That page right there is how Skybound X25 starts, but with the new
Yep.
version, like with updated Ryan Otley art.
Yeah.
And then Machine Head is hiding underneath a desk. And I don't really think we see much of Machine Head apart from like some appearances in Invincible Universe. Other than
Yeah.
that, that's it. I'm very excited to see if we get more Machine Head in Invincible because
Ah.
Cecil kind of takes him, and now would be a really cool time to bring him back, wouldn't it?
There,
Oh, I hope
there
so.
was an interview, there was an interview that Kirkman did. I think it was at San Diego, and he said that because they were talking about like who's coming back, and he goes, "Oh, it's been talked about that Titan and Machine Head will be back in season 3." But I think
Battle Beast.
he meant to say Titan and Battle Beast.
Titan and Battle Beast.
Oh,
But he did say
Mhm.
Machine Head, and I'm like, but I think that was just a mistake.
yeah. Would be cool though.
Yeah.
It was
Do you
sad.
guys
Yeah.
think? Do you guys think that within the story, the time frame that the comics are taking place, like between that issue and him ending up on that prison ship, do you think we'll get flashbacks to him being like
The scourge of the
scourge
twin
two
galaxies.
twin
I was
galaxies?
gonna
Like
say,
what
I
that means?
want that. Just you going through that again makes me want not necessarily flashbacks, but I would love references to it. That and when
Yeah.
he says like galactic empires tremble at the sound of my name, I would love to have him run into people out on adventures wherever they're
Yeah.
going, where they know who he is.
I
Like,
do
What if
like
the
that.
galactic empire is the
Surprise in
Caldarians?
There you go.
But
maybe.
remember, in Skybound X25, we do get the page of like, let me tell you where I really come from, and it does go through the flashbacks,
Yeah.
and it shows like his
Mhm.
whole planet was at war, and he saved it, and everything like that. But you're right, like showing that he has this like I don't know, he's like infamous in the galaxy would be kind of
Yeah.
cool that he's known. would be
Mhm.
very cool. I'd like that.
Let's see the council of these twin galaxies.
Yeah, right.
like see some connections.
Whatever,
That'd be
especially
cool.
because Machine Head says whatever that means. Like
Whatever that
finding
means.
out whatever
Yeah,
that means would be kind of funny.
would
Yeah.
be cool.
Then we see Mark in recovery afterwards. Cecil's like, "Yeah, you're kind of fine. You healed up fine," which is very different from the show. Um, uh, Black Samson and Bulletproof, not so much. They're going to be out for a while. Sends Mark home. Mark comes home. Eve's in his room, and she just wants to talk about how her and William broke up, kind of showing that relationship. And it ends with her saying, "If you got a minute, I'd really like to talk. It's important." And then uh, the next issue or the next episode, next issue is her talking about how she's done being a superhero. So again, kind of
Hmm.
some season 2 stuff. But the issue ends with what we know of as uh, Isotope appearing back in uh, the behind the desk in the penthouse and saying, "All right, boss, we did it." And you seeing Titan in his suit now, standing behind the desk, like, "All right, taking over, make way for the king." But yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff.
Very
Fun issue.
cool. And
I wanted to.
perfect little tee up to the next season, since we know that we see that shot of Titan back. Like
Yep.
it's nice to be
Mhm.
reminded of how all that went down in the comic too.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling like hype for not only the comic but for continuing that story in season 3, and so
Yeah.
that's where I landed on with issue 19 of
And
Invincible.
it makes me curious because of how many differences there were, right? Like how much more we got with Titan, how much more they gave him makes me think that like
How much
they're
can they
not
give?
bringing that character back in season 3 just for a small little cameo. I assume that they'll probably give him maybe a little more even than he got in the comic
What's
when he comes
interesting
back.
is they gave Titan similar to what Powerplex already has in the comic.
Yeah.
He already has that kind of backstory with the wife and his job and what he's doing and the history with his sister and everything like that. So I'm curious as to whether or not we get a similar amount that's in the comic with Powerplex more.
I think we
So
will.
I don't know. Yeah. All right. So that does it. That does it for this episode. Remember, if you have any thoughts, we'd love to hear them. You could send them in to our email address, theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com, or hit us up on Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky now, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Wherever you can usually find us. Wyatt, we haven't pimped your music in a while. You're coming up on the end of the year. You do
I
all.
am, yeah. I will have an album out by the end of the year. I don't have a release date yet because I'm actually still waiting on the album artwork on its way back from the artist I commissioned it on. So I don't want to set a date for sure yet, but I'm aiming like very, very close to the end of December. So follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky apparently, and everywhere else that you can find my music to stay updated.
We saw some some concept sketches for the cover.
We did.
Are you waiting to tell us which one you went with?
I got new concepts since then that I'll send you guys after the
Oh,
show.
okay.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
cool.
they better
All
be
right.
cooler. They better be cooler.
It's
Awesome.
really cool.
Awesome.
right.
I'm very happy with it.
Well, we will be back. Might not be until January, but unless something major happens, hope everybody has a great holiday season.
Yeah.
We'll be back in early January for our annual looking back episode, where as of this month, things have shaken up a bit. Things have some points have probably been attributed. Some things are going to be shifted. We'll see. Chris Wise has his work cut out for him. I'm sorry. We got
He's in charge of tallying up the points to make sure. I tallied the points last time because I was not part of those old predictions.
that's right.
Now that I'm a part of it, Chris Wise is doing the tallying, which is kind of a relief for me, honestly, going into it, because now I know no one can get mad at me for how the
Well,
points
I got so
are
mad at
handed
you,
out.
Wyatt. And I'm already all the time mad at Chris Wise, so it just
Oh
Yeah.
man,
You know.
getting
Yeah.
ahead of it. So, and then we'll also have our other stuff show in January,
Yeah.
which is going to lead right into February, which we're going to be busy. So look forward to those things. Hopefully, some more board game let's plays and everything. And we're gonna be back, and you guys can't get rid of us. There's a lot of Invincible coming, and it's exciting to be part of it. So, thank you all for listening, watching, and so on. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah, but have you guys ever played Soul Reaver 1 from 1997?
I have not.
It's pretty dated. I don't think you'd like it unless you played it back then.